Oh my goodness, I can't. This is nerve-wracking. This is nerve-wracking, guys. Wow.
Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury? All right, is it unanimous? Thank you, sir. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 2. The statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, The statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. 1. As to this statement, appearing in the April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media used fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. 2. As to the statement, interviewed and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven by clear and convincing evidence that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, we've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
Does either side wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jamie?
Members of the jury, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 6. Juror number 10. Juror number 15. Juror number 16. Juror number 22. Juror number 27. Juror number 29.
I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you again for your dedication and your hard work during this trial. I know I speak for everybody here when I tell you that we appreciate your sacrifices and your time and your public service in this matter. Okay, so I'm going to have you go back to the jury deliberation room for one more time, and then we'll release you from there. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. In accordance with law, I will amend the punitive damages award to the statutory cap of $350,000 for Mr. Depp's award. Okay. I will set the order, and can we do it on June 24th at 10 a.m. if that's available? All right,
Yes.
so Mr. Chu, if you could prepare that order and then circulate it to Ms. Federhoff, and we can have all the objections noted on it. All right. All right, and if I get it before that date, I'll take it off the docket. Okay. All right. Again, thank you to all the attorneys for your professionalism, and you're welcome to.
Johnny Depp. Oh my goodness.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Guys, we need this to be explained now. The verdict has been read. Wow. Wowee. What a day, what a day, what a day for Johnny Depp. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is wonderful news. This is Johnny Depp is not even in court. What a day. What a day. Oh my goodness. So guys, I'm going to share another, right? Let us see. Live.
This 80 Canadian dollar grout pen deep cleans any bathroom or kitchen tile in seconds. Its patented formula tackles grout stains at a microscope.
Question is, how do you feel about the jury not believing your claims against Johnny Depp that he is he was the abuser? It turns out he was the victim, and she's not going to be happy with that question. I don't think there's an answer she can give that can spin that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's no question we're going to hear from her legal team. Maybe they'll take some questions. My guess is if she were to come out, and that's a big if because this is a pro Johnny Depp crowd out here, if she were to come out, maybe she would make a brief prepared statement and then be like immediately ushered into a car by security. I don't think she's going to be doing any kind of press conference answering any major questions right now. Depp's team, on the other hand, I expect they will be. Again, for those who are just tuning in, the verdicts, I should say, not the verdict, but the verdicts are in, and Johnny Depp, the clear winner here, the jury determining that Amber Heard did defame him on all three counts that were being considered in her 2018 Washington Post op-ed. And joining us now is the one, the only Dan Abrams, the founder of the Law and Crime Network, with us. Dan, give me your reaction.
Well, first of all, we have to say, wow. I mean, I'm sitting in a car watching this live stream, just like 3 million plus.
That they're coming right out of 3 to get their belongings ready. And yes, we will have that verdict right here at the Long Time Network, Stacey. Absolutely.
So here's a good question that came in from someone's goat, love that name, on YouTube. She said, are we ever going to see the jury, or are they never going to be shown for their protection? Linda, we wouldn't see the jury. Tell our viewers.
Yes, we don't get to see juries in the United States of America. We kind of protect our identity in the courtroom. And I'm looking at the courtroom right now, Stacey. I'm looking at the picture of the attorneys all seated. I think that's Amber Heard in the courtroom. I really can't tell. But yes, the judges also entered an order and said that the jurors' names will not be released publicly, at least by the state of Virginia, for 1 year. That does not mean the jurors can't identify themselves. They could actually have their own press conference. They can talk to the media. They can self-identify. It's just that the state of Virginia will not release their names unless there's
clear winner, guys. Clear winner. Johnny Depp is the clear winner.
We have two other guests with us, of course. So with us, hey, Mike Corbanics, law and crime analyst, joining us, as well as Nima Ramani. Okay, I take it back. It's a little chaotic with the helicopters going above. Okay, Nima Ramani is still with us. We had an interesting question earlier, which I think it's good to remind viewers of because we have so many more people tuning in now, which is, are there any restrictions on the jurors after this case is done, after they deliver their verdict and the judgment? Can they write a book? Can they sell their notes, someone said? Are there any restrictions on the jury?
Linda? Stacey? No, there are no restrictions on that. The only thing they can't do is with the notes. They will not get their note backs, okay? They will not get their notes back. Those get saved by the court and they get destroyed. Now, they can redo their notes so they went home every night and write what they remembered and therefore sell maybe those recollections. But with regard to anything else, they can talk freely. They have a First Amendment right to talk freely. All that can happen is you can't harass them as a lawyer. You can't go and harass them. No one should be harassing a jury anyhow. But they're free to talk and they're free to publish.
Okay, so, and some very well might. This is a very high-profile case where there has been a lot of interest. I mean, right now, we've got about 1.5 million of you tuning into our YouTube channel. So thank you for sticking with Law and Crime for this and for these key moments. Again, you're looking at a live picture inside the courtroom right now where everyone is assembled, just about 4 minutes to go until 3 o'clock when we expect to see the judge come in and call the jury in for the reading of this verdict. Linda, we know there are a bunch of questions. There were a bunch of points on the special verdict form. How long do you think this will take?
Well, you're going to get a feel right away because I have the special verdict form from Johnny Depp right in front of us because our producers are just so great in getting it. I also have the one for Amber Heard. The jury form is about 4 pages long. It will go pretty fast. It won't be longer than 10 minutes right here, and maybe less. If they find no cause of action, for instance, on 1A, if they answer to, do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation on that first quotation regarding sexual violence, then they don't answer the other questions. They go right to number 2. And if they don't find that, the likelihood is they won't find for him on any of them. And the same with Amber Heard. So it's going to be under 10 minutes, Stacey.
Okay, that's good to know. And just to remind
For
you,
guys,
what we
for
expect to happen here, this just takes 10 to 15
for some
minutes.
of you
The
who
jurors,
just joined in, Johnny Depp has won, but they're
the
going to
legal
be
teams for both
talking
sides will
about the
come out and
verdict.
give some remarks. Other players in this as well. Unclear whether anyone will hear anything from Amber Heard immediately after this. And by the way, if you look on the screen, she is seated there in the courtroom awaiting the verdict with the rest of us. An interesting question that we got from Haley Howell on Facebook. Has the judge already heard the verdict, or will she be hearing it for the first time when we do as well? Janine, do you want to take that one? Okay. Janine has left us. We thank her for her time. Linda, the judge is going to hear the verdict just when we do, right?
Stacey, I'm sorry. I thought Nima was going to field that one, but I'll field it. Yes,
Oh,
the judge.
Nima, please take it,
you know
Nima.
what?
Guys, I'm out here in our Studio A. It's hot. It's humid. I can't see all of you in the monitor. So, Nima, please, will the judge be hearing the verdict for the first time when we do?
The judge is going to get to see it, I guess, maybe 30, 45 seconds before, and then at that point, yeah. So the judge will know right before we vote.
Okay, so this is all kind of happening in real time, off the cuff here, and the judge will be finding out, barely any time before the rest of us. Sarah Wilson on YouTube asked, are they going to show the courtroom when it's being read? Yes, Sarah, that's what you're seeing now on your screen is a live picture of the courtroom. You see the attorneys there, you see Johnny Depp's attorneys there, you see Amber's attorneys, and you see Amber herself. Again, for those of you who are just tuning in, because we have new people logging on every minute as we get closer and closer, literally 1 minute away from 3 o'clock. Johnny Depp, we have been told by sources close to him, obviously is not going to be here. He's not there now. He is still in the UK after doing a series of surprise performances with Jeff Beck. He is expected to stay there. His team said that he had prior commitments in the UK, and he will be watching the verdict from there. We'll see whether he issues any kind of comment, video statement. We just don't know what we'll hear from him, but we do expect we will hear from his legal team as soon as this is over. And again, our camera's outside of the courtroom on standby, where we have seen crowds growing, supporters, and so forth as we get ready for this verdict to be read. It is about 3 o'clock.
All right, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
All right. Just for everybody in the gallery, reminder that this is a court of law, and regardless of the verdict, I will not tolerate any outbursts whatsoever. Okay? Thank you.
Others have been on the Long Crime Network, and the fact that Johnny Depp won on all 3 of the counts is pretty amazing. Remember, this is a case where he sued a publication in London where the standard is harder to win, and a judge came back and said, no, he believed that Johnny Depp was a quote wife beater on 12 of 14 counts. Now you have a jury here of 7 people, 5 men and 2 women, coming back and saying that Johnny Depp was defamed on all 3 of the counts. I mean, this, I think, is a real surprise to a lot of people. Now, I had talked about previously the possibility of both of them, quote unquote, winning. But I think this, quote, win for Amber Heard is really a token win. Putting aside the money, right? Putting aside the fact that it's $15 million for him, $2 million for her, that's not just the issue here. It sounds like the issue the jurors had with the statement made by the lawyer for Johnny Depp was about the fact that she got together with her friends, effectively conspiring. So maybe they didn't believe that aspect of it. But it seems to me that the takeaway from this case is these jurors believed Johnny Depp and they didn't believe Amber Heard. I don't think there is any other way to interpret all of these verdicts together.
Yeah, and Dan, I think that's a really good point, because the statement in which the jurors found for Amber Heard was a longer one that Adam Waldman made, in which he said, talking about Amber and her friend setting Johnny Depp up, and to your point saying, yeah, so Amber and her friend spilled a little wine, they roughed up the place, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, then placed a second call to 911. So perhaps the jurors didn't believe that whole sort of collaboration, right, conspiring happened. Would you say that then this is not a total loss for Amber Heard, though?
I think it's a total loss for Amber Heard. I mean, it's better. I mean, it's better that she won that one aspect of it than if she didn't win anything. Her team can now try and spin it and suggest that it was, both sides and people didn't believe either. But in the end, I mean, when we talk to these jurors, and I'm sure that some of them will talk, they're going to tell you, I feel confident that they're going to tell you that they simply did not believe Amber Heard. Because remember, it's not that she won on all three of the counts with regard to her countersuit either. I mean, basically the jurors had come back and said, he wins on all counts and she wins on all counts, then I'd have a different answer for you. But because they said he wins on all counts, but she just wins on this one issue, it seems to me that I don't see how those jurors believe on questions 2 and 3 with regard to Johnny Depp, not just the sexual violence claim, but the rest of it. I don't see how those jurors come back and say that he was defamed and that there was any sort of equivalency here. If he was defamed by that statement and Amber Heard did not win on those countersuits with regard to calling it a hoax, etc., these jurors clearly believed Johnny Depp and didn't believe Amber Heard.
Yeah, Dan, let me stop you here, because our 3.5 or so million viewers, 3 million viewers on YouTube, some people have some concerns. They want to make sure that you are not driving. Like so many people, I'm sure you stopped whatever you were doing when you heard a verdict was coming at 3 o'clock. You picked up your phone and dialed into YouTube, right?
I'm in the back seat of a car. I'm not actually driving.
Right. He's not at the wheel, guys. He's in the back seat of a car. He's safe. Everyone on the road is safe. Dan's a lawyer. He wouldn't endanger himself and others. Let's talk about the appeal. Is Amber Heard going to appeal this, Dan?
Absolutely, she's going to appeal it. And remember, people have to remember that when you're appealing primarily the legal rulings, right? So she will appeal some of the testimony that was allowed to come in. She will appeal some of the aspects of the judge's rulings in this case, the pretrial rulings, the ruling itself. She's going to challenge the fact that there was a camera in the courtroom. There's going to be a whole panoply of challenges that she's going to make about how unfair the trial was. And she'll also seek to reduce damages, right? In any appeal, the first thing you want to do, in addition to try and get a new trial and get it thrown out, is to try to reduce the damages and say that the jury made mistakes in how it assessed damages. I think that's her most likely chance of success here. But, that's not going to be the win for her. I mean, this to me is just, it's basically an all-out win for Johnny Depp. And I do think that this gets him exactly what he wanted here, which is, I don't think he cares about the money, whether he ends up getting the money. She probably doesn't have that kind of money. This is vindication for Johnny Depp. A jury has said that he was defamed by these comments. And that means that these jurors believe that he was not a domestic abuser. And I think that allows him to get back his career in many ways. You could argue there were other reasons he lost much of his career. But this is a massive win for Johnny Depp, and I don't think it can be underestimated to characterize it that way.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, you touched on the damages, and let me remind our viewers again that the jury awarded Johnny Depp $15 million in damages, and they awarded Amber Heard $2 million for finding that one of the statements made by Johnny Depp's lawyers was defamatory. So a little bit of imbalance in what's owed. To your point, Amber might not have that money. We've talked about this already, but what happens to her in this case? She doesn't have the $15 million for damages.
Well, we'll see. Look, there's going to be a lot of appeals. We're a long way from the final judgment being issued in this case, and Johnny Depp pursuing the damages against her. Well, let's see what happens there before we say that Amber Heard is going to have to declare bankruptcy. which is potentially something that could happen in the end if she owed this kind of money and simply can't pay it. She could also try and raise money through donations, etc., from other people based on the reaction to this trial. I'm not sure that would be particularly successful. But, I think we're a little ways away from knowing exactly how much she's going to have to pay and how she's going to get that money.
Let's talk about Johnny Depp for a second, because a little bit before we found out that there was a verdict, we did confirm that he was not going to be here. There had been a lot of speculation. We know he's been playing rock shows the last 3 nights in the UK. We knew there was a possibility he'd stay there. In fact, his team confirmed he would be staying there and watching the verdict from there. Any thoughts on him not being present for the verdict?
This is not a criminal case. I think that people are sort of conflating this with a criminal trial. People say, how could he not be there? This is a civil case for damages. You could argue, okay, does he not care enough to be there? I don't know. I don't view it as particularly significant that when it comes to a verdict that could take many days, that he decided he didn't want to wait. That's really more, from my perspective, of PR issue than it is a legal question. And the dollars, okay, but that didn't happen.
I think.
And so.
Okay, you're back. Dan, can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay, so you brought up really it's more of a PR question, and so no, that's okay. We get it. Lots going on. Listen, so you said, yeah, that's a PR question about Depp not being here. So I have another PR question for you, because you watch so many of these high-profile trials, and yes, this is not a criminal trial, but we've seen a lot of high-profile civil trials. We know that these stars' reputations, what was left of them, essentially, were at stake. Amber Heard's in the courtroom. We know both legal teams are going to come out. Do you think Amber Heard is going to address the media at all?
I don't think with all those Johnny Depp fans out there, she wants to hold a press conference where people start yelling at her and those sound bites end up showing. If I were her PR team, I would let the lawyers for Amber Heard make statements. I wouldn't have her. I'd have her sit down with someone, a relatively favorable journalist sometime, tomorrow, next day, whenever, to give her statement. I don't think she wants the sound bites of her talking about how upset she is, about the disappointed she is, and people yelling at her and jeering at her. But I'd expect that both sides' lawyers would likely make themselves available to the media right there after the case. And of course, the most interesting part is going to be talking to the jurors, if and when they'll talk. Yeah. And they're the ones that most people are talking to. Yeah.
Absolutely. Dan, thank you so much for dialing in and sharing your response with us, your reactions to this big pivotal moment after more than 6 weeks of covering this trial. We thank you so much. Maybe we'll check in with you later. But for now, I want to go right to Linda in the studio. She has a statement from Johnny Depp, his reaction to the verdict. Linda.
Oh, my goodness. I'm actually trying to find it right now, Stacey. So just give me 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. Live TV, a lot going on. Okay, I need the statement. I will read it to you, but I need the statement. But while I'm waiting for that, if our producers can put it here, okay? All right, let me read it right now. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go, all right? And by the way, I love Dan commenting on our favorite witness by giving his report from his car. Alejandro, I'm changing my Zoom background. But here's Johnny Depp by his spokesperson. 6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in me were forever changed, all in the blink of an eye. False, very serious and criminal allegations were levied at me by the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it had a seismic impact on the life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave back my life. I am truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of the legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owe to my children and to those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing that I have finally accomplished that. I am and have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and the colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to the innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and the media. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Veritas numquat perit. Truth never perishes. That's from Johnny Depp. That's the statement. Stacey, I know that you are sitting out there with Ann Jeanette. We have Nima here in the studio right now. What is your reaction to that? Stacey, what is going back to you, your reaction to all that? Johnny Depp's statement, very long.
My reaction to you is Amber Heard's statement, which we just have in to us right now. Let me read that. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. She goes on to say, I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that he won in the UK. I'm sad I lost this case, but I am sadder still that I seem to have lost a right that I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. Again, that's a statement from Amber Heard sent to us by her publicist, where she says, I'm sad I lost this case. So even though the jurors did find that Johnny Depp's attorney defamed her with one of his statements, as we've been saying, clearly this is a big loss for her. And Linda, when she says, this is an affront to freedom of speech, what's your take on that?
It's not. The problem is that we said this is a very important case for freedom of speech when we started covering it here at the Law and Crime Network. But it's also important that those don't abuse it. People do not abuse the freedom of speech. They don't defame others, especially calling someone who may have been the victim, or now the jury says is the victim, the abuser, and changing his life and the life of his family and children forever. So you have freedom of speech, yes, but you can't lie about people, and you can't lie about the people in the public. And I think the jury felt that, as we talked many times on this network, that Amber Heard was manipulative, and they did not want to be manipulated by her lies to them. And therefore, they came out with this very convincing verdict. And it is a total win, as Dan Abrams said, for Johnny Depp, because on the other side of the token, what you have is a lawyer who's going to be paying a malpractice policy if it doesn't get overturned on appeal.
Linda, Ann Jeanette Levy's back outside with us now. She was inside when the verdicts were read. What was the mood? Did you get any reaction from Amber and her team? What was going on in there as the verdicts were read?
Well, I was sitting behind her team, her side of the courtroom, and I was trying to see, obviously I'm seeing the back of their heads, so I didn't get much reaction. Obviously, they're disappointed. They believe they're right. They believe he's wrong. But the jury saw otherwise. He ran the table. He may not have gotten the $50 million, but he won on every question.
Right.
That jury found that they believed that she lied. That's what they're saying. They're saying she lied. and that she put it out there in the public to hurt him, and it did hurt him. So she will appeal, I'm sure. But obviously he lost on the second Waldman statement.
Right.
So yes.
So, we said, okay, a little bit of a win for her. Now, it seemed extremely quiet, like you could hear a pin drop in there.
Yes.
I assume, was there any reaction from the crowd? Did anyone sort of gasp, sigh, anything like that,
Yeah, there were smiles. Obviously, there were smiles. I kept trying to look around to see Ben Chu and Camille Vasquez's reactions. And, they were kind of, I could see Ben Chu smiling a little bit, but it wasn't like a huge, huge smile. It's a court of law. There's a certain level of decorum. Obviously, they are pleased. They won. They may not have gotten the $50 million that they were seeking in the original claim, but he got 10. They found that he deserved compensatory damages of $10 million and then punitive damages of $5, but that's capped at $350,000 by statute. So he won't get the $5 in punitive damages. But I could see there were fans of his in there who were smiling. I must say, I think I mentioned this on the air earlier today, and I wanted to grab him before I came out here, and I just couldn't. I hope he comes. If you're watching, he said he's been watching. Come by the tent. Please come by the tent. We invite you. But this gentleman was in line with me for a wristband this morning, and he said that he used to try cases, is what he said. And he told me this morning, he believed, I'm pretty sure he said, I believe the jury will be back today, and they will give him $14 million. When they said the 10 and 5, I literally looked back, and he just smiled at me. I was like, how did you know? So he needs to come over here and give us an exclusive because he said that to me this morning whenever we were here at 7 a.m.
So, and Jeanette, I believe our camera's up now showing you guys in front of the courthouse. You've been talking to these lawyers throughout the process. You
As much as we can.
As much as you can.
I mean,
right?
they were not allowed.
Introduce yourself.
Yes.
You've not been getting inside details or anything that you shouldn't be.
Right.
But you've spoken to them enough.
I'm a very chatty person.
Right.
So
and that's why we love you. So you expect that both sides will be coming out to deliver some remarks.
I don't know that. I would certainly hope so. We are all set up for a press conference. I would certainly hope that Depp's team would come out and make some comments. The world is watching. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say the world is watching.
More than 3 million people watching on our channel.
Yes, and we've got a chopper up above, some type of news chopper. We've got the world media set up here. So I would assume and hope that they might come out. I keep trying to check my phone, but still pay attention, obviously, to what we're doing here.
Sure.
So we're not being rude here, people. This is just how we operate in 2022.
Right.
So we are trying to get that information. I would certainly hope they would come out. We're allowed to do this now. This was not allowed during the trial, not at all. The judge said nothing. No interviews, no public statements.
Which is common during.
Correct. It's a gag order of sorts.
Yeah. So we want to, for those who may have missed part of the verdicts, it happened somewhat quickly. Let's go back and listen to the part when the jurors delivered their monetary judgment in Johnny Depp's favor. $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. Okay, some technical difficulties. Okay. We're having some technical difficulties apparently with that clip. So Anjanette, we were just talking about, we expect attorneys from both sides are going to come out, probably make a statement, maybe Johnny Depp's team. Here's some activity now. So can we go in live to that camera, guys? Wow, you can hear the cheers erupting. I can only assume that is the Depp legal team coming outside right now. They're taking their real live victory lap in real time.
I'm going to go to the podium.
are approaching the podium. Ben Chu, Camila Vasquez, the rest of the Johnny Depp legal team.
Hi, everyone. Today's verdict confirms what we have said from the beginning, that the claims against Johnny Depp are defamatory and unsupported by any evidence. We are grateful, so grateful to the jury for their careful deliberation, to the judge and the court staff who have devoted an enormous amount of time and resources towards this case.
Our judicial system is predicated on each person's right to have his or her case heard, and we were honored, truly honored, to assist Mr. Depp in ensuring that his case was fairly considered throughout the trial. We are also most pleased that the trial has resonated for so many people in the public who value truth and justice. Now that the jury has reached its conclusive verdict, it's time to turn the page and look to the future. Thank you all so much, and thanks to the jury.
Thank you so much.
Let's get to this. So Johnny, how is he feeling? How's Johnny feeling?
Will Johnny and Amber ever speak to each other again?
Let's get to the matter. This has been any more legal action.
Is Mr. Johnny Depp going to run for office?
Well, there you have it. Attorneys for Johnny Depp not taking any questions right now. They made a brief statement. They have gotten into their SUV. I can see a lot of movement behind me as crowds sort of gather to watch. Presumably, as their SUV starts to pull away, cheers in their favor, questions being thrown at them. I heard someone say, will Johnny Depp and Amber Heard ever speak to each other again, to the attorneys? That's a good question, actually. And I guess that's it for now. Some of what they said, we are so grateful to the judge and jury. We were truly honored to assist Mr. Depp. We are most pleased that this trial has resonated for so many who value truth and justice. A quick victory statement from the legal team. Linda, did you expect they would say any more? Did you expect they would say any less?
I love the statement. I love the fact that it was short because they know they're going to say it's a victory for their client. They know that this is their client's win, that he pushed them. This moment belongs to the client. So I love the fact that they were short, they were sweet, and they gave credit to their client. And you know, Stacey, when we were looking and waiting for that verdict, and remember I was talking about how everyone was stoic and stone-faced and poker-faced, you saw Camille turn around, actually, to her team with a big smile before the verdict was read, which was kind of like a clue. They know they had won that case.
Yeah, for sure. So now we wait and see whether Amber's team comes out and makes a brief statement as well. Look, I have to imagine they are going to say something. Not Amber herself, but the legal team. Obviously, they may be booed, although I'm already seeing some of the Depp supporters leave. There was a family.
All right, we have a little bit of some type of logistical issue right there. We are back and we're trying to reconnect Stacey's mic. But as you heard, Johnny Depp did win his case. We're going to listen to that moment in court when he won his verdict. All three counts, an enormous, gigantic win. Well, apparently, let's talk about it. $10 million for the three statements. And the three statements were, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath that has to change. That was the headline of that article, the op-ed that she wrote, and then she republished it from her social media account with a comment, which let it go to a whole new audience. A very difficult count to win, but he did win defamation against her. The second one. The second one was then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the force of our culture's wrath for women to speak out. And the third one, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. All three of those statements found by the jury to be defamatory. I think Stacey Delicate is back with us right now in terms of watching what's happening in that on that lawn, the victory celebration for Depp supporters. Is it still crazy out there, Stacey?
You know, we just heard another round of cheers of erupt, and that was a big black SUV carrying Johnny Depp's legal team pulling out of the courthouse, and off they go after delivering that brief victory statement again, in which they said, "We're so grateful to the jury and the judge. We were truly honored to assist Mr. Depp. We are most pleased that this trial has resonated for so many who value truth and justice," was among some of the comments that were made there. Yes, do I expect that the legal team, Johnny Depp's legal team, is going to pop up probably in many other places and say a little bit more? Yeah, probably, because as we've been saying, these attorneys themselves, Camille Vasquez, Ben Shu, have basically achieved celebrity status during this trial, have built up their own following. Why not ride it to the end for them? Now, we're still standing by outside waiting to see whether Amber Heard's legal team is going to come out and make a statement. As you know, her publicist already did release a statement to us in which she said, in part,